It would be cool probably to see Kora fight Batman, I think that would be interesting.
That'd be
An
really cool.
interesting fight,
Not the warehouse scene, but just with Kora.
Kora and Batman, or Kora versus Batman.
Yeah.
That's cool. Yeah, anyway. You may never leave it.
No, I'm not with you especially.
Oh.
Zach, thank you so much for joining us in the movie podcast. Rebel Moon is so rich in detail, and the world building is out of this world. So stop me if you've heard that already.
I wouldn't dare.
Were there any changes to the mythology as you were shooting the film, or was everything kind of just set in stone from the beginning?
A lot of it was set in stone. I would say probably 90% or 80% we kind of had to, because just the way production works. But there's a good 10% that I would go like, what's better actually? Once we were in it and I would see something that was, because like sometimes you need all the pieces in front of you to kind of make connections. That happened a bit, not as much as you'd think, but enough that there are substantial like philosophical connections that I didn't see until I had everything in front of me.
But essentially, most of it kind of just was like, this is it.
Essentially, I would say the core things I had it and I put it down, and that's the way we did it.
Now, correct me if I'm wrong, this is your second feature film shot in digital format.
Yes, Army was the first.
Right. So I'm curious now, has that kind of changed your approach to how you're making these movies? Is anything really different for you?
Yeah, I was a film guy forever, and still a huge fan of movies shot on film. Huge fan of the cameras. The format's amazing. My experience with this digital capture, I get to work in super low light, which I like. I built those lenses for the movie, these bespoke lenses that we use, these anamorphic lenses that we created at Zero Optic. And I just feel like they really render so much texture that I still find the look really satisfying, It still has a lot of organic kind of quality to it. So that's the most important thing to me.
When you're watching it, there is a digital look, but also you can tell that eye when you were shooting on film is still there. So
yeah, it's like, there's a lot of aberration in the lenses and stuff. It all feels kind of weird, which I think is kind of fun for this.
I'm curious, from all your previous films that you've worked on, is there a character that you would love to see fight one of your characters from Rebel Moon? Like have just a full-on battle?
That's cool. Yeah, I guess it would be cool probably to see Kora fight Batman, I think that would be interesting.
That'd be really
interesting fight,
Not the warehouse scene, but just with Kora.
Kora and Batman, or Kora versus Batman.
Yeah.
That's cool. Maybe on this. Yeah, I don't know. Anyway, it'd just be.
I asked the same question to Cleopatra, and she said she would love to have been in Sucker Punch as her character. With
Oh yeah,
there.
for sure. Her character could easily exist in Sucker Punch. Absolutely. Sucker Punch is kind of like a wide open.
Oh yeah,
for that sort of thing.
There's a lot to explore.
Yeah, there's a lot of fighting. Like a lot of matches could be made in that universe.
Absolutely. There's a line from 300 that my co-host and I, Daniel, we always quote to each other, and it's whenever our backs are kind of up against the walls, and it's what Michael Fassbender just says. Then we will fight in the shade.
Yeah, of course.
And it's just one of our favorite lines. So just really want to thank you for that, because it really pushes us through to the next part.
Yeah.
No.
Our arrows will blot out the sun.
So cool.
Yeah.
How did you feel when you were kind of like shot there? You're like, yeah, it's badass.
Well, it's Herodotus, that line.
Yeah.
I got to give credit where credit is due. And like, there's a certain handful of lines from 300 that are from Herodotus. Like, when Frank had done the research, he just read Herodotus, and that was, like, come back with your shield. Yeah. We'll fight in the shade. Come and get him. Like the big three, I think.
Right. Absolutely. Well, Zach, thank you so much for joining us today. The movie's so amazing. I can't wait people to watch it, especially on a big screen.
Yeah.
So, yeah, thank you.
All right. Thank you, brother.